So I've been in STN for 4 years. I joined STN my freshman year after like being in his like basic DVP class. And I've been on the past like 3 conventions, and I'm really excited to go on this one this year.
I've been an STN member for technically 3 years. The culture has changed so much. So when I was a freshman, it was quite cliquey, not gonna lie. And it wasn't like cohesive at all. And so I actually hated it. And so I left. And Mr. Guest was like, no, you gotta come back, come on. We got videos to crank out. Like, I promise it's not gonna be like this anymore. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And so I came back, and it felt like the culture was the same when I first came back. I'm not gonna lie. Because you don't see the underlying kids who aren't in the spotlight. There's so many people that you don't see that are just so caring and so kind and so compassionate towards incoming people.
I do remember the first year we didn't do a whole lot of cheering. We were a very loud group, and now we're known as one of the loudest groups and winningest programs that attend STN.
Pit and Peak is basically where you talk about the worst part of your day and the best part of your day. So it's like the first time I was introduced to it was before convention, actually, when we were about to go to Atlanta, Georgia. He would have us come like once a week for cat period. Everyone going to the convention, we'd come and we'd sit in this tiny like little area in his classroom. And he'd have us sitting like really, really close to each other, just kind of like forcing us to get comfortable. And then we would like, he explained it, and we do kind of like stuff about school. But then like our first like real Pit and Peak was at convention. And they're just so much fun. It's when, you know, someone gets to rant about something bad that happens, or you get to like talk about like an accomplishment, and then there's always like stuff going on, like family stuff, and it's when we get to share that as a club together rather than just keeping it in. Like that's what Pit and Peak has kind of brought to us, has brought like us as a family more than just like friends or just a club. It's brought us so we talk about things that most other clubs wouldn't talk about it.
It gets to be a lot. And we have a specific rule of no shade throwing, in which we can't be rude to each other. And so it really like boils everything down to how you're feeling, because you can't be like, oh, hey, this person made me really mad. You have to like, I guess say it in a roundabout way, which really gets to the source of things. So it's like, this person didn't make me mad. It was, I had a lot of struggles with my group and how I was handling it.
And so something we did when I was in high school in one of my senior classes, it was a Pit and the Peak, where you tell something, the best part of your day, week, year, or the worst part. And it gives the kids an opportunity to kind of share things that they normally wouldn't otherwise. And it kind of gets the kids out of the habit of judging a book by its cover. Oh, he's, you know, a jock, or, you know, she's nerdy, or whatever the case may be. When kids come out and talk about things that you normally wouldn't hear out of them, a lot of the kids, it's their true, raw emotions, whether happiness, sadness. You know, if somebody's going through something tough at that time, you know, it just gives the students an opportunity to kind of present themselves out there without worrying about being judged.
So the first one was our first Pit and Peak of the year this year, in which I was kind of in a difficult group in which a lot of people thought I wasn't going to succeed because I had all the freshmen, and I had a lot of doubt, not only for myself but from other people, in which I wasn't going to be able to handle them. And so when we were going around Pit and Peak, the freshmen were like, oh, I had so much fun with Zoe. Oh, I learned so much, and it just like, it made me feel so happy, because I feel like as upperclassmen, we're on opposite sides of this spectrum that is high school. I just missed off the top of my head, because I was like, oh, they're babies. Oh, they were in 6th grade when I was a freshman. And then my second one is, we were in Nashville, and my mom previously has battled with not cancer necessarily, but she's always had tumors and growths that they don't really even test, because she doesn't want to know. So like, I wasn't going to miss the opportunity for Nashville, but she did have a really big test coming back to find out if a particular tumor was cancerous or not. And so that was very hard on me, because it was in the back of my mind. So I had to leave the state while my mom was undergoing surgery and in the middle of this, and it was something that I didn't feel comfortable opening up to everyone about. And so it hits my point, and I remember being so scared. And like, I was like, and my peak is, for those of you that know my mom, she's cancer-free for the first time in 5 years. And like, I remember you could hear a pin drop.
I think every pit and peak that we have, there's something that stands out to me. I don't think I can't really think of one particular moment. I think there was just a lot of individual moments.
I never thought I would become friends with the people in STN. Every now and again, we'll be going to take the field and to go perform, and I'll hear from the stands like, "Yay, Zoe! Go Zoe! You guys are gonna do great!" And it warms my heart, because I went from all my friends are on the field with me to I have this support group that's watching me and cares about how well I'm doing.